Get ready to blaze.
Hold up.
So 2 big pieces of news just dropped, and one that personally makes me very excited. The first story is the official full-ending rock theme for Sonic Frontiers got posted right after the snippet most people heard was posted on the official Sonic accounts. I have an edit made by this person that adds lyrics to it that I'll play and react to, as it's a pretty nice song overall. The second and more exciting story is news that just now dropped about the main Frontiers theme, and it's a good piece of news for the emo kids, as odds are now way higher that this actually is Pierce the Veil on the main theme. And with this info, I've totally changed my mind and done a total 180. Zippo's leak directly contradicts this info, and other sources close to him have confirmed Zippo was referring to Natewantstobattle in his post. However, Zippo has just about zero credibility as of now, which makes me even more excited to cover this story about literally one of my favorite bands ever, and something I never thought I'd talk about on this channel. So we'll play the intro with the new Sonic song I made the other night right over it, and then we'll go straight into the full Frontiers ending theme. So don't drop trow, but drop a like, a sub, one of my favorite foods, and hit the bell, because doing so makes sure you see my epic and based videos. Timestamps below for the impatient. Now, let's just jump into it like Philly D. Philly D's nuts in your mouth.
I'll nail that Eggman. Chaos has transformed again. That's not gonna happen, buddy. Just remember, no fighting. Wow! Take this. Run, yeah!
Yay! Sonic Team! Cool!
Who are you?
Check! Now what do we do?
Check, huh?
It should soon be on board the tornadoes too!
It won't be easy. Pieces flew off everywhere. I can sense that the emeralds are here somewhere.
That was pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie and act overexcited like a baby hearing Beethoven or Cardi B for the first time. I do like this song though. The lyrics are kinda generic, but I'm not expecting some ultra edgy and unique song for Sonic. It has an early 2000s emo rock vibe, which is the only era of rock I fell in love with. So I am excited to hear what the rest of this soundtrack sounds like. We know 1OK Rock is out of the running for the main theme just because of how different the vocals are. Even the instrumental style has a totally different rock sound to it. While it is emo, it's way less emo than the main theme for sure. Oh, and speaking of the main theme, I want to go into Pierce the Veil, quite possibly making the main theme for this game, and why I'm backing down on Zippo's #1 draft pick, Natewantstobattle. Now, me saying this might surprise a bunch of people, since previously I've been very confident it wasn't Pierce the Veil, and that it was Nate. And my main reason was that Zippo and others around him said they were 100% certain it's Natewantstobattle, and he specifically said it was a YouTuber. Another reason I didn't think it was them was that Pierce the Veil hasn't released any music since 2017. 5 years ago. Maybe it was forces that made them call it quits. But regardless, the Frontiers hype must have revived Vic Fuentes' Mechanical Bride heart, because they literally just now released a new song and announced in a new interview, which was their first in 5 years, that they have a whole new album finished. So they're not only on the map again, but we finally get to hear how his voice has evolved and what he sounds like in 2022. I'll play a clip from their new song, Past the Nirvana, next to the song we heard in the trailer. Because honestly, my mind has been totally changed.
縦横無尽な新境地アクションアドベンチャーソニックフロンティア
And the similarities are undeniable. With Nate, I was like, I haven't heard him since the Forces songs. He probably has evolved a lot. But hearing this, I'm like, nah, it's Pierce the Veil. Looking at the evidence for Nate, well, there is none. Just a post by Zippo, and he's been on a cold streak with non-stop misses lately. Looking back at how Zippo worded his post, it's clear now he was being intentionally vague with the wording. Just writing, it's a YouTuber you know, and he doesn't name them to not spoil the surprise of who the artist is. Which, since when did Zippo care about that? That's literally the whole point of him publicly posting these leaks. You don't want to spoil an artist announcement? I mean, Zippo, I'm calling cap. But actually keeping keeping the wording vague is pretty smart. So there's no named figure that feels like they're compelled to respond and say, no guys, it's not me, which would instantly debunk Zippo. And to give the slightest amount of fairness and grace to Zippo, as that's just who I am. It is possible that Nate made a different song for this game, just like how the ending theme is by One OK Rock. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, as there's no evidence for it, and I personally don't believe it without proof, but I want to keep an open mind and not shut the door entirely on our boy Nate. Also, you know, we need to hear more than 3 seconds of the theme. And we don't know when we're going to hear the theme, but with them now putting out the ending one, I think time is coming soon. And I've stored 8 pounds of confetti and 4 party horns just in case it's announced Pierce the Veil made this theme, as that's truly the ultimate best reality. After hearing all that, do you guys think it's Pierce the Veil or Nate Wants to Battle? Let me know in the comments below. And lots of Frontiers news is coming and fast. And no, that wasn't a euphemism. Get your mind out of the gutter, sicko. Like if you liked, sub, and double check, because there's a 30% chance you're not subscribed. Also, hit the bell, even if you don't like getting notifications. It's worth it for Papa alone. Just turn everyone else off. Another video soon, and lots of love. Peace!